Greetings. Welcome back. This is week 8, and we're going to be talking about the 3 to 6 year old. We're building on what you've learned or experienced with the infant stage and the toddler stage. Now, the 3 to 6 year old stage is really when we begin to be able to have the capacity to cognitively assess what behaviors, what actions win the approval of those that we are dependent upon, and which actions and behaviors win the disapproval. So this is really the beginning of the conceptualization and the development of what I refer to as the adapted self. This is really where we cognitively begin to split off from who we really are to who we think we need to be. So all of the material this week introduces you to those concepts. You've touched on that through this program, but now we really get into the nitty-gritty of that. Again, the MP3s really support you in beginning to befriend this part of self. It's very important to do some of the exercises in step 3 where you regress. You've seen that in the toddler and you've seen that in the infant. With this age, you know what really works well is to go and try to be around a 3 to 6 year old. They have such a curiosity, such an awareness, such a thirst for adventure if they're not squelched. And they are just, manifestors. I mean, because there's no resistance at that age unless it's really, really drummed into them. So if you have an opportunity to be around a 3 to 6 year old, seize it, because that will really assist you in identifying your inner 3 to 6 year old. If you have a child that age, then let yourself kind of come out in your childlike way and play with that part of self. The biggest thing that happens for parents, and I see this over and over again, often people are inspired to come in and do their inner child work when they're parents themselves, and you may be relating to this. And all of a sudden, you feel this conflict with your child. Well, what's happening there is that your inner child, which is probably about the same age as your biological child, is in competition because your inner child wants the same thing that you're giving to your biological child. Now, also through these developmental stages, you're being kind of teased into looking at how the issues that were experienced in childhood not only follow you into adulthood, but also may hold the real seeds of what you came here on a soul level to resolve. That's where my work with the Akashic Records really comes in handy. In a typical session, what we would do is we would take an issue. Like with the 3 to 6 year old, you might have an issue with shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are the key focuses for this week. Judgment and projection are the other two. And this is really the time where we cognitively experience that dislike. And we feel shame, we feel guilt. The difference between guilt and shame: guilt is feeling bad because of something we did. Shame is feeling bad to the core. Not for something we did, but for who we are. We can change what we do. We cannot change who we are. And so we need to really flush that shame out. Shame and guilt then morph into judgment and projection. We judge others. We're afraid of being judged. We project that judgment out. So this is really rich with that kind of self-exploration. And the bundling of baggage this week is on shame and guilt. So you'll get a good 40 to 45 minute experience with walking through and taking the edge off of that. And then as the 7-layer process is woven in to this age, you'll begin to see how you can walk your 3 to 6 year old through his or her pain. So I hope this is enhancing your work with your inner child. I hope that the audios and the videos are bringing a certain energy and vitality to your work so that your adult self and your higher self is as equipped as you need to be to really do this work. You're doing a great job. This takes a lot of courage and a lot of perseverance. So I congratulate you. I congratulate you for staying on track.